Auction time. This is the 5M series auction, 5M01. This is the Keokuk biface I did on video from a large piece of Keokuk heat treat that I got from Danny Collins. 7.5 by 4.25. Okay. The thickness, I would say, let me see. What is that? It's like 5/8. Something like that. 5/8 inches or something like that. Okay? So you can do the math. But anyway, I took off flakes that I needed from that big old spall that Danny sent me. And since I don't like working these into points, I'm going to sell it so you can work it into a point. Okay? There's nothing wrong with this. This is actually probably the best and clearest piece of Keokuk of this size that I've ever worked and that I've ever seen. Both of those. Okay? And it's heat treated extremely well. That's why. That's also why it's like one of the best I've ever seen, or probably of this size. This is the best piece of Keokuk I've ever seen, both in terms of heat treat and of quality of the stone. Okay, alrighty. Danny Collins. I'll put a link. I usually don't put links to sellers in my auction videos for obvious reasons. Competition, right? But I'm going to put a link to his website and, his information down in the comment section. Okay? All right. Yeah. I want to share the knowledge. Yes. 5M02. This is another piece from Danny Collins. This is heat-treated Novaculite. Again, he knows what he's doing when it comes to heat treating. I had no problem thinning this down from a slab. This was a slab. I believe the slab is 1/2 inch to start with, although I forgot to measure the slabs he sent me as far as thickness goes. Okay. I was able to clean up the surface, 7.1/8 of an inch by 3. It's a 7 by 3. This is the elusive 7 by 3 that I have trouble doing. But with this Novaculite, I did not have trouble. It's excellent stuff. Yeah, I was amazed. Now, I broke the other one in half on purpose to make 2 different bifaces. Right? I don't know if I offered those in the last auction or not. Anyway, I got the small flakes that I needed, that I want to work with. I don't want to work with these pieces, but you can work these. Now, this has a little bit of an inconsistency between the different layers. See that? This is a different consistency than this here. So I got a little bit of a stepping going on as it goes into this other layer from this layer. All right, that's the only thing I can foresee that you might have trouble with, is the difference in consistencies between the different bands of material. I shouldn't say layers, because layers implies another whole different problem set. But the different bands have different consistencies. It's not bad because it's heat treated. The heat treat evens it out really well. But that's the only thing if you want to thin this down further, you might not want to thin it down further. Okay? All right. Oops, can't knock those together. 5M03. This is a quartz crystal arrowhead. And it's not serrated. I just wanted to preserve as much of the crystal as possible on this arrowhead. So I made a triangle preform and just notched it. There's no special edge work or serrations or anything. It's just straight napping into a a barbed arrowhead of the type that I like to nap. Okay. It's not easy to nap this stuff, but it's not that hard either. In comparison, let's see, this is an inch and a little over an inch and a half long by a little over an inch wide. You can tell there is some imperfection in the stone here. It's got like little bubbly areas, or it's got something going on right up in here. So if you look at it with a magnifying glass or a microscope, you can see imperfections in the stone, but otherwise it's pretty clear. And you could tell it's real quartz crystal because of the imperfections. Now, if it was completely clear, someone might say, well, that's just glass. Well, it's not just glass. You can tell. Yeah, it looks a lot like glass. That's the only thing. But no, it is a quartz crystal. I have trouble seeing the edge. The biggest problem with napping this stuff is seeing the edge, but if I abrade the edge, I can see it pretty well and make sure it's abraded and dusty with the abrasion dust, and then I can run flakes in. But you'll see there's a little bit of steppiness in the surface because I have trouble figuring out all the right angles when I can't see the edge. Yeah. All right. Just thought I'd mention that. For those of you who are trying to nap the quartz crystal and having a bunch of trouble. I have a video on that too, by the way. But that one is not on video. All right. 5M04. This is a set of 3 of Cahokia type variation. 3 variations on the Cahokia style that was found at the Cahokia Mounds site, right? Now, as far as the actual size of these, I kind of eyeballed it. I don't know if these match the actual size of the real artifacts. The designs match the real artifacts, but the actual size is probably a little bit bigger than they normally are in real life, on the real ones. All right, so let me measure. All these 3 are together under this one item number, okay? You'll get all 3. 1.5 inches on that one, 1 5/8 inches, and little over 1 3/8 inches. Right, 1 9/16, something like that. No? 1 7/16. Yeah. What is the width? Almost an inch. A little over 3/4. And this is let's see, 13/16. Okay. Let's weigh them too and see. I'm curious as well. 36, 40, 38. And these are all grains, not grams. Okay? So pretty close to 40 grains each. Okay? Which is pretty typical of the size of true arrowheads. Okay? They can get really small. I have made really, really small ones that are just like the ones that are real. These, I think they match pretty close to the actual size, but they, like I said, they might be a little bit bigger than the actual ones. All right, so let's get some close-ups. This is, did I mention this is heat-treated Keokuk from flakes that I got off of this bad boy right here. It's the same material, okay? Extremely nice to nap. Oh, yes. It notches well. It sharpens up well. I have little defects in my napping, like little step fractures here and there, because I do random flaking, and I don't do flake over grind. But It gives you a random looking surface on these. But yeah, I enjoy these. That's why I want to get close-ups. I enjoy looking at them as well, up close. This is an interesting design. But yeah, this is one of the Cahokia types. And yeah, I pick at the edges a little bit on these, but not very much. I could be more persnickety with the flaking, so it's not as wavy. But I kind of like the wavy look for arrow points. And I don't like to make it too perfect. Although I probably could have been more persnickety up here on the tip. Try to get some of that out. I just kind of left it. Yeah, I kind of just left it rough up here near the tip. If I mess with the tip too much, I end up breaking the tips off. Yeah. Okay. $5M05. This one is made from that Danish flint. Yeah, from a flake that I generated during that video where I was knapping the Danish flint. And I have to say that this is some of the strongest flint I've ever worked. It's easy to create needle tips and barbs without snapping them off. I mean, I was putting some heavy pressure, especially down here when I was working this base. I was doing some heavy pressure on these barbs, and normally with flint that I have, like Georgetown flint and other types of high-grade stuff, the pressure I was using on this would snap the barbs off. But on this particular piece of flint, it was holding up better than any flint that I've ever worked. So this is unusual. This Danish flint. I don't know if it's this particular piece that I was sent that is unusual, or if it's typical of this, what they call Baltic flint. I think some guys were calling it the Baltic flint or similar to that. I forget the other name. But anyway, this is excellent, excellent flint. The only problems I had was it crushes a lot. See all these little crushing stuff fractures on the edge? That's the only problem I was having with this. It crushes. But other than that, it's excellent flint. Now, I've got some English flint that looked similar to this that was nowhere near this quality. The stuff that I got before this was terrible, to be honest, and it needed heat treatment. This needs no heat treatment. This is raw, and it's excellent. I will be talking more about that in future videos. I think this is pretty close to a Neolithic style, by the way. I haven't even described it. Yeah, the flat. I've seen Neolithic arrowheads of this flint with the flat interior notch, like this. All right, so hopefully that's close to a real type of arrowhead. Okay. This one is 2 1/8 inches long. All right. Now on video, I'm going to make one of these with a long barb on it, because I'm pretty sure now that I've worked this flint in this size, I'm pretty sure I can get one of those really long barbs without much trouble at all with this particular type of flint, because it holds together extremely well. It's like the best flint. It's the most non-snap in half-ish flint I've ever worked. It doesn't snap in half. Okay? It could take a beating and it will not snap. So I can probably create a really long barb with this type of flint. Okay, just FYI. All right? $5M06. These are floor tile. This gray floor tile stuff. All right, I napped this one on video. Yeah, I don't think I napped this one. No, I didn't. I painted this one black on one side and this one red on one side. This is just jet black acrylic paint you buy at Walmart for like, I don't know, less than $1 a bottle. And this is barn red, straight out of the bottle. These are colors are straight out of the bottle. And just painted the tile. Now, if I was doing this seriously, I would put primer on this first and look for the primer that they use on masonry. All right? Get some masonry primer and then paint them. I just quickly painted them with these acrylic paints. The paint will come off easily. If you just scratch it with your thumbnail, the paint comes off. But I'm going to get some primer for masonry and do this again and do it on video with different colors and different color schemes. Anyway, these both are under this one item number, 5M06. Okay. Floor tile arrowheads. All right, we do have $1. 5M07. This is a box of stuff I'm going to share. Yes, I told you you can't have any of this, but I changed my mind. I'm feeling bad that I'm not sharing the wealth, okay? This is a slab of banded obsidian. I got this a while ago from, I can't remember who. Forgive me, I just can't remember. If I don't label it with something, I forget. Anyway, this one will snap in half, this type of obsidian, so be careful. This is not for beginners. Here is some of the Danish flint. A couple of good size flakes, all right? And there's some writing that was on the original. Okay, so you know this from the video. These are from the video where I'm reducing down the Danish flint. All right? Just so you can try it out. So you can see how excellent it is. Now this one might have a crack right there. See it? So be aware. This might go all the way through. It's, you know, generating out from the bulb of percussion, so it probably is a crack. So be aware of that. You won't be able to capture this whole width. Probably you have to nap this side off so you can work around that crack. You know, this is not perfect, but you'll get to feel how great this stuff is. Okay, let's do this first. These are 2 flakes of the heat-treated Cahokia from this big biface. From the nodule that I generated that biface from, or from the spall. Excellent stuff, okay? And you can see me take these off of the big spall in the video, and it still has some of the writing on this one. Yeah, I said you can't have any, but I want to share the wealth. Yeah, okay. This is one of the slabs I got from Danny Collins. But I got overly aggressive and I broke it. I cracked it. See that? This flake was overly aggressive and I ended up cracking it. So I'm putting it in the brokes and bifaces and offering it to you. Yeah, that was my mistake. This is excellent Novaculite, heat-treated Novaculite. All right? I just messed it up. That's all. What is the size? You probably won't be able to capture the whole size, but 5 5/8. This one is about 5 inches, 3.5, 3.5. See, my hands are small. Everything's going to look bigger than it actually is, so that's why I measure these things. 4.5, 4.25. This one is these 2 are heat-treated Mississippi gravel. I messed this up by blowing away part of the barb. Because I was trying for a barb like this on this side, and I blew out the barb. Anyway, this is heat-treated Mississippi gravel. Okay, it naps well. It's not fully heat-treated. It's lightly heat-treated For this stone, I think is heated to 500 degrees, which is a light heat treat for this particular stone. A light heat treat for all the other stones, especially Texas stuff, is 350 degrees. I think this went up to 450 or 500, but it needs more than 500. It needs like 550 or 600 to get really glossy or to get really easily napped. This is still a little bit tough to nap, and it still feels a little bit dry, right? The higher it goes, up to a point, the higher it goes, the better it naps. Okay, but right now it'll be a little bit crunchy and a little bit dry. Okay, and this is the same kind of stuff, but it'll give you an idea of what it is on the outside. I included this one so you can see what the Quartz look like. When you heat treat it, it gets more red. It gets a deeper color. So when you find this out in nature, this is going to be like almost a white color. Okay. And this was just a piece of raw root beer that had some issues with it, so I didn't want to keep going with it. It has areas of unpredictability, like it might have a weird crack in it somewhere. See this right here? That's a weird crack. See that little weird crack might go in a ways. There was a bunch of cracks up near the top, and I had to just knock them all down and knock them off. Yeah, knock them off. It was much longer. I had to knock them off the top of this to get to the clear. And there's I think I got all the cracks out except for this one there. Okay, so just be aware. It's a tough, raw, root beerish looking stuff. It might have some imperfections. Okay? All right. 3 7/8. All right, so there you go. Broke some bifaces and flakes this time. Okay. All right, that's it for items. I'm going to go over the rules. These are my cheat notes for my rules. Okay, there's a better description of the auction in the description box below. There will be an auction every Monday, no matter what. Please look at my previous auctions to see how they work. If you are not able to reply or comment, you will not be able to bid. Yeah. Now, I can enter the bids for you if you email me, but just be aware that email is not always predictable. I might not see your email. So try to bid and figure out how to bid by replying in the comment section. Your replies are your bids, okay? And make sure you put the little item number in your reply if you're new. And if you're not sure you're putting your bid in the right spot, because you're supposed to put your bid under the comment that contains the item number. If you don't know how to bid right, or you're not sure how to do it, just make sure you include the item number in your bid, okay? All right. Auction 3J has a demo on how to bid, okay? If you type in Jack Crafty 3J, you'll get to this video, and it has a demo, just in case you need it. Bid in the comment section under one of my pre-populated comments. My pre-populated comments will contain the item number, a timestamp where the item appears in the video, and a short description. If you don't know what a pre-populated comment is, don't worry about it. Just look in the comment section of my previous auction videos. Look in the comment section of my previous auction videos. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. There's plenty of auction videos in there. In my videos, you can type in Jack Crafty auction, and all the auction videos supposedly will pop up. Okay, so just look at those. That's the best way I can tell you on how to figure out how to bid if you're new. All right, I will like your comment if I see it. That's important. Sometimes comments are not always visible. It may take a while for me to like your comment, but as the time approaches the end of the auction, I will check more frequently. You might say, wait. Comments are not always visible? Yeah, sometimes comments are not seen by other people. And as luck would have it, sometimes I don't see comments. And it's very disappointing. It's very aggravating. But sometimes I will not see your comment. I will put a like on it if I see it. That's how you know that I saw it. So you don't have to keep asking, did you see it? Did you see it? I will put a like. Now, sometimes it may take me a while to like your comment, so just wait a little while. But as the time approaches the end of the auction, I'll check more frequently. That's what that means. So just because I don't like your comment right away doesn't mean I didn't see it or that I won't see it. Just hold on and just be a little patient. And then as time approaches the end of the auction, I'll check more frequently. And that's when, if I don't have a like on it and it's getting near the end of the auction, that's when you should start worrying. Okay? All right. Try not to bid at the last minute. Yeah. Please be aware that I'm using YouTube's time tracker and it's not always accurate. I use the time tracker because it's what everyone sees. You might say, wait a second. What? Let's back up. It's not always accurate? Yeah, YouTube's time tracker, that little timestamp that YouTube puts on your comment to see how old it is, does not always work exactly correct. It may put a time on your comment that is not correct. And if YouTube says you're late and you're bidding at the last minute, I'm going to not count your bid. Okay? That's what that means. All right, shipping is free in the U.S. International shipping is discounted but not free. I will add $10 for a light package international or $20 for heavy packages international. Now, this is still discounted quite a bit, but it's not free. But shipping in the U.S. is free. International shipping is highly expensive, so I have to charge you at least a little bit. Right? $10 for lightweight and $20 for heavyweight. We'll figure that out during the emails when you email me, if you win. Okay? I will provide tracking numbers. I accept PayPal, which is my preferred method. I also accept Venmo, Cash App, checks or money orders, or a payment via electronic invoice. I can send you an electronic invoice that you can pay with a card. All right, if that, we'll just work it out in the emails. Okay. Winners will be announced at 9:01 p.m. Eastern Time. The auction actually ends at 9 o'clock exactly on the hour Eastern Time. Now, it's different for different time zones. If you're on Central Time, the auction ends at 8 p.m. If you're Mountain Time, the auction ends at 7. If you're on Pacific Time, the auction ends at 6. Okay, the auction ends at the top of the hour, like I said. So I don't start announcing the winners until 1 minute past the hour because I keep refreshing and refreshing and refreshing. Make sure I have all the bids in. Make sure I recognize that all the bids are in and I see all the times that everyone has bid. Okay? That's why I wait a minute before I start announcing the winners. Now, it could take me a while to get through everybody, but I start with item number 1, then go to item number 2, then item number 3, and so forth. It may take me a while to get through everybody, but just be patient. I start at 9:01 p.m. Eastern when I announce the winners. Now, you will be notified in the comments section if you win. Please email me your info if you're new. Okay, so this is important. If you're brand new, I don't have any other way to contact you if you won other than in the comment section. So watch the comments. When the auction is over, just watch the comments. This is not a live auction, so it's not going to be. I'm not going to be able to respond to questions or whatever during the video. The video is just shot in the morning. It's like a 20-minute video or so. And then I post the video. And then that night, I close the auction and announce the winners in the comment section. Okay? All right. There you go. So, yeah, I'm excited about my new materials I've been getting in the mail. I'll be doing a lot of little arrowheads coming up. I will be selling off the bifaces that I don't want to be working because I don't want to work large stuff anymore. There's nothing wrong with the bifaces. I just don't want to work large pieces anymore just because it's just my preference. Okay? So I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you liked the auction items, and good luck.